Hi, I'm Debbie. Sun Yin Fai Lo. Happy Lunar New Year and welcome to the year of the wood snake, a year that represents growth, flexibility, and transformation. In this snake inspired session, we'll be exploring gentle movements that flex and extend the spine, side bends, twists, and balances. Whether you're practicing from a chair, on the mat, or a combination of both, you're invited to adapt these practices to suit you. Before we start, feel free to grab any tools that you need. For example, straps, blocks, or pillows, and maybe set yourself up near a wall. I'll be demonstrating some practices against the wall and using some of these tools. So having them handy will be useful if you'd like to try those variations too. Be particularly cautious if you have back or neck problems, osteoporosis, or are pregnant. If you are unsure whether this session is for you, please check with your general practitioner or specialist. Come into a position that helps you feel grounded. It might be standing in mountain, seated, kneeling, or lying down. Because the next posture will be a seated posture or on hands and knees, I suggest a comfortable seated or kneeling position. Settle into your chosen posture. And check in with how you feel. How do you want to practice today? Honour yourself and feel free to omit, change, adapt, or replace any practice. Feel the ground beneath you and affirm your connection to the earth. Maybe arch and round the spine a little, releasing through the lower back and creating length through the spine. Feel the space above you. Have a feeling of lightness, of being in this space, and affirm your connection to the heavens. Have a sense of the people around you, the world around you. Acknowledge your connection to those who are with you, who have been before and will come. Affirm your connection to the land, your connection to country. Move into a comfortable seated position for a spinal flex. Or if you wish, come over onto your hands or forearms and knees for a cat. Move from the base of the spine, lengthening and arching spine, opening the chest. And then gently straighten the spine, maybe rounding and dropping the head. Continue that movement, arching the spine, opening the chest, straightening or rounding the spine. Go as fast or as slow as you wish, moving into a rhythmic flow. Would you like to do this with breath?
Inhale as you arch the spine. Exhale as you straighten or round it. Consider making the inhalation the same length as the exhalation. Another 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come into a restful position for you and notice how you feel. If you were on your hands and knees, maybe rotate or massage the wrists. The next movement moves the hip through flexion, bringing the knee towards the front of the body, and extension, taking the leg behind. Choose your starting position. You could be on your hands and knees, sitting sideways on your chair, leaving one leg free to move, or laying down on your side. Draw the knee in towards your chest. If you're on your hands and knees, maybe round the back to bring the nose towards the knee. And then gently lower the knee and press the foot behind. It's a small movement. Check that you're not arching your lower back too much in an effort to take that foot further behind. Continue like that, drawing the knee in towards the chest and then pushing the foot behind. If you wish, inhale as you bring the knee in, exhale as you extend it behind. If you're on the chair or lying on your side, you might like to straighten the leg as you bring it forward, drawing the toes back towards you. Then bend the knee and take the foot behind. If you're on your hands and knees, as you extend the leg back, you might like to straighten the leg and create length in the spine. Make this your last round and come back to a restful position. Notice how your body feels. Do you feel a difference from one side to the other? So let's move to the other side. Coming back onto your hands and knees, turning around in your chair, or turning over onto your other side. Start with the knee bent. Inhale, draw the knee in. Exhale, take the foot back. If you're on the chair or lying on your side, option now to straighten the leg as you bring it forward, drawing the toes back towards you. And if you're on your hands and knees, as you extend that leg back, maybe straighten the leg and create length in the spine. Do a couple more rounds on this side. And come back to a restful position. Notice the sensations in your body. Making your way into a seated position, whether on the chair or on the mat. If you're sitting in a chair or with your legs outstretched, you might like to take the legs out a little. Lengthen through the spine and gently come forward from the hips. And keeping the spine long, circle to one side, back, and then the other side. Start with small circles. And if that feels right for your body, maybe make them bigger. Settle into the movement. If you like to bring breath into it, think about inhaling for one half circle and exhaling for the other half. Pause. Then gently start to circle in the other direction. Small circles to begin with. Notice if this feels different. It might not. Just notice how it feels. If you wish to move with breath, inhale in one half circle, exhale for the other half circle. And 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming to stillness. Notice the effects of that movement. Seated twist. Sit up tall, creating length in your spine. You can place your hands on your thighs and let them slide along the thighs as you turn from side to side. Or, if you would like to feel more open across the chest, try placing your hands on your hips, on your shoulders, or to the sides of your head, and think about drawing the elbows back. Gently turn to one side and then to the other. Make this a rhythmic movement. You can go as fast or as slow as you wish. If you'd like to move with breath, think about inhaling when you turn in one direction, exhaling as you turn in the other direction. Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to your seated position. Taking time to notice how you feel. Side bends. Remain seated or come up to standing. If you're standing, position your feet. Step the feet out for more sensation in the bend and bring them closer for less sensation. Where would you like to place your hands? By your sides? On the shoulders or beside the head? Or maybe you'd like to stretch your hands out to the sides, fingers spread wide. Take a breath in and lengthen up through the spine. Exhale and bend to one side. Just hold it. Just noticing where you feel the sensations. And then on an inhalation, come back upright. Exhale, bend to the other side. Inhale, come back up. How did that feel? Maybe you'd like to adjust your position. And then let's do another slow one. On an exhalation, bending to one side, holding it and just feeling into that bend. Inhale, coming back up. Then exhale, bending to the other side. Inhale, come back up. Now continue to move from side to side at your own pace. Maybe you're just enjoying the movement, breathing naturally. Maybe you'd like to inhale as you bend to one side, exhale as you come up and bend to the other side. Or maybe you're exhaling as you bend, inhaling as you come upright. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you end, ensure that you feel balanced on both sides before you come back to mountain or your seated position. Take a moment to think about the position of your shoulders. I'm always just slightly rounded. And take the awareness to the tips of the shoulders. Gently lift them up and roll them back. And just notice how that feels. Keeping that feeling, breathe in and shrug the shoulders. And then exhale, maybe forcefully through the mouth, and just release. And another slow one. Inhale, deep breath in, shrugging the shoulders. And then exhale, release. And now continue to shrug the shoulders, making it a rhythmic movement. So raising and lowering. If you wish, you might like to do this with the breath, inhaling as you raise them, exhaling as you drop. Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come back to stillness. Just notice how that feels. Sit on a chair towards the front of the seat or come up to a standing position. Step the feet out as far as it feels comfortable and have the feet pointing out towards the corners of the room. If you're seated, straighten one leg, drawing the toes back towards you. And then bring it back. Then straighten the other leg and bring it back. Continue that movement. Think of a Cossack dancer. If you're standing, lunge to one side by bending a knee, and then straighten that knee and bend the other. Adjust your stance so this feels right in your body. and continue to lunge from side to side. Start to sway from side to side. If you're seated, just let the legs be still and focus on the spine. Now think about how a snake moves. As you shift your weight to one side, the hip goes first, then the rib cage and then the head. If you wish, bring the hands together in front of the heart. And as you sway to one side, bring the arms across to that side and maybe turn the head in the opposite direction. Now think of the hands as the head or tail of the dragon. Feel it swimming through the water. You might like to take the hands high or low or keep them around heart level. And for a bit of fun, try this with the feet close together. I find this hard, trying to coordinate my head and hands and hips, but feel free to explore and enjoy. Let's do a couple more. And then come back to your standing or seated mountain. The Tree of Transformation sequence uses the tree posture to transform our way of thinking, to release the negativity or whatever is holding us back, drawing positivity, taking back our power. So let me demonstrate the sequence. We start in mountain and then move into the tree to find our balance. We then think of what's holding us back, all those negative thoughts or feelings, and push them away. Then we gather up the positive, take back our power, affirm our belief in ourselves. So come into mountain, and if you're standing, ensure that you have enough space behind you to step back. This step can be as small or as big as you wish. If you feel steady, you could also do this sequence sitting sideways on your chair. Otherwise, instead of stepping back, just bring the foot under the chair and lean forward slightly. In the tree posture, the foot isn't resting against the leg, so you might like to place something like a block or a book between your feet to rest your foot on. In your mountain posture, embody the mountain. Strong, stable, balanced, grounded. Raise the heel of your right foot and turn the knee out. Bring your arms out to the sides. Bring them close together as high as you wish. If you feel steady here, maybe you bring the right foot a little closer to the left, maybe a little higher without touching the left leg. If I'm sitting in a chair, I like to take my foot back under my hip. That feels steadier to me. On an exhalation, draw the hands down towards the heart. Take a moment just to notice what's holding you back. What negativity do you wish to release? Inhale And then exhale forcefully as you step back and push your hands forward, releasing that negativity. If you're seated on the chair facing towards the front, step the foot under the seat and lean forward slightly. Now you're going to take hold of your power. Gather up the positive things you need. Maybe it's simply calmness and peace. And turn your palms up. Slowly come upright, drawing the elbows into the sides and making fists. At the same time, bend the right knee and bring the right foot in line with the other. If you feel steady, maybe you lift the right knee up in front. And on an exhalation, place the right foot down beside the left, maybe in a slightly wider stance. Press the palms towards the earth. Claim back your power. Feel the strength in this posture. And affirm, I believe in myself. Let's move to the other side. Bring your weight into your right foot. If you're seated, pressing down through that foot. Inhale and come into your tree posture. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Check in with yourself. Is there something that's holding you back? Do you have negative thoughts or feelings towards yourself, negative self-talk? Take those thoughts, inhale, and on an exhalation, step back with the left foot and push those thoughts and feelings, all that negativity away. Now gather up the good things in the world. Take back your power. On an inhalation, turn the palms over. Draw that positivity into your heart, into your being. Exhale, place the feet back on the ground. Press the palms towards the earth. Affirm, I believe in myself. Come back to your mountain. Cobra. Choose whether you wish to lay down on the floor on your abdomen, sit in a chair, or stand close to a wall facing it. If you are sitting in a chair, you might like to face a wall or have a second chair in front of you that you can place your hands on. You might also like to place a pillow or bolster in your lap. In this session, I'm introducing a number of different hand positions from arms outstretched to under the shoulders. If you are familiar with the Cobra variations, feel free to place your hands in a position that feels right for you. So start with the hands outstretched in front. Tilt the chin a little towards the chest to create length in the back of the neck. If you're seated, lean forward slightly and maybe place the hands on the wall or on a chair. Whether you're on the floor, seated or standing, an alternative to outstretched arms is to bring the hands closer towards the shoulders and have the arms bent. Prepare to move. Inhale and imagine you're lengthening through the crown. Then slowly take the nose forward and then the chin. For something a little more active, have a sense of pulling the floor, the air or wall towards you. Exhale, slowly reverse the movement and come back to your starting position. You might like to remain with your hands in this position, Or you could try bringing the hands towards you one hand length. So where your wrists are on the wall or floor, place the top of your fingers there. If you're sitting in a chair, this might mean coming a little closer to the wall or chair, or placing your hands on your knees or the edge of the pillow. On an inhalation, lengthen through the spine before you slowly take the nose forward, the chin, and maybe the breastbone. Let the shoulders relax back and ensure that there's no discomfort in the neck and the lower back. On an exhalation, slowly come back to your starting position. If you wish to stay where you are, then do so. We're moving into the Sphinx now. So when you raise the body, the elbows are in line with the shoulders and the wrists come in line with the elbows. If you're on the ground or facing the wall, position your elbows out to the sides in line with the shoulders and the hands above your shoulders about the level of your eyes. I like to visualize an equilateral triangle between my hands, the elbows and the shoulders. If you're sitting in a chair, lean forward slightly and position your elbows under your shoulders. Let your hands rest along your thighs or along the pillow. Breathing in, lengthen through the spine and have this sense of drawing the nose, chin and then the breastbone forward. As you lift, bring the elbows under your shoulders. If you feel hunched, try taking the hands forward a little or maybe wider or both. Have a sense that you're opening up through the chest and relaxing the shoulders back. And on an exhalation, take the elbows out to the side and slowly come back to your starting position. If you wish to remain with the hands where they are, then do so. The next option is to bring the hands under the shoulders. Your elbows might start to stick out. Draw them closer to the body. If you feel hunched, just roll those shoulders back and have a sense of the elbows coming towards the floor, the wall. Breathe in, lengthen through the spine and slowly move the nose, the chin and the breastbone forward. If you're on the floor, use the strength in your upper back to lift yourself. At this point, if you remove your hands, you would stay where you are. Then, if it feels right for you, push into your hands and maybe lift a little higher. And on an exhalation, reverse the movement, coming back to your starting position. So choose the hand position that felt right for you, from hands stretched out to underneath the shoulders. And we'll do one more Cobra. On an inhalation, lengthen through the spine, move the nose, the chin and the chest forward. If you're on the floor, maybe pressing into the hands to lift a little higher. Holding this position and just breathing naturally. If you wish, on an exhalation, look over one shoulder. Inhale, coming back. Then exhale, look over the other shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. And on an exhalation, slowly reverse the movement, coming back to your starting position. Come into a position that lets you fold forward and stretch your back. If you're on the ground, you might like to bring your hands under your shoulders and push your buttocks back towards your heels, coming into your variation of child's pose. Alternatively, you might prefer to turn over on your back and hug the knees in towards the chest. If you're sitting on a chair, lean forward from the hips. If you have a pillow or bolster on your lap, you might like to think about draping yourself over it. Otherwise, lengthen through the spine and support yourself by placing your forearms on your thighs or your hands on another chair or the wall. If you know it's okay for your body, maybe you reach towards the ground or place your hands on the ground or on a block. Maybe you drop your head. If you're standing, do one of the variations suggested for the mat or the chair. Alternatively, fold forward from your hips, placing your hands on the wall, on your legs, or reaching towards the ground. Put a little softness in your knees and see how that feels. Whichever position you've chosen, you might like to hold it. You might like to do a little bit of movement to explore the sensations. Do whatever feels right for you and breathe. Gently release your position and move into a posture that is restful for you, whether it's seated or lying down. Use whatever you need to ensure that your body feels warm and supported. And do any last movements, tense and release or wriggle around, whatever you need so that desire for movement becomes a desire for peace. And as you settle into the posture, take the awareness to the breath. Feel the breath moving in and out of the body. And take the awareness down to the feet. Imagine that the breath is coming in through the soles of the feet. So it's just like a wave lapping at the feet. Inhale, the wave comes up the feet, up the legs. Exhale, the wave recedes. And with each breath, that wave comes a little further up the body. Until you're breathing in, toes to top. Exhaling, crown to soles. Now take the awareness back down to the feet, down to the left sole. On your next inhalation, imagine the breath coming through the left foot, right up the left leg, up the left side of the body to the crown. And as you exhale, you come down the right side of the body, out the right leg, out the right sole. Then inhale through the right sole, right up the right side of the body. And then exhale down the left side of the body. Continue that pattern. Inhale up the left side of the body. Exhaling down the right. Inhaling up the right. And then exhaling down the left. As you settle into this pattern, see if you can start to notice the body parts as you breathe in and out. Breathing in, noticing maybe the knees, the hips, the fingers, the whole side of the body. And as you exhale, the facial features, the shoulders, the hips, right down through the legs. Finish the round you're on. The round ends when you breathe out through the left sole. And then come back to breathing through the body. Inhale, toes to top. Exhale, crown to soles. And as you inhale, say to yourself, I am. And as you exhale, say to yourself, here. I am here. Release all efforts, coming back to your natural breathing. Notice the sensations of the breath. Feel the breath of the nostrils. Hear its sound. Feel its rhythm. Feel the breath moving up and down the nostrils and moving within the body. Notice how the body expands and contracts with the breath. Feel the weight of the body against the floor. Sense the shape of the body and the space it occupies. Expand your awareness now to your surroundings. Tune into your senses and recall the sights, the sounds, smells. Notice if there's a taste in the mouth, what you can physically feel. Let your senses remind you of the time of day, where you are, and what you are doing. You might like to remain here for a little bit longer. Or if you're ready to do so, start to extend the breath and start to bring some movement back to your body. Slowly coming into a comfortable seated or kneeling position. Rub your hands together, creating that warmth in your palms to place wherever it's needed. Maybe it's something that's just giving you a bit of a challenge today. Maybe you'd like to bring it over your face and your eyes, drawing yourself back into the present. And then finish with the hands together in a gesture of gratitude. Honor yourself. Honor those around you. Om Shanti. Peace.